Okay, people, welcome to Interview Shots number 2. This one we've got Ayanna Witter-Johnson, freshly nominated for a Mobo, Best Jazz Act 2012. This one's going to be good. We talk about her moving to New York, working with Mark from For Hero on her EP, Truthfully. We talk about her working with the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra with the Urban Classics, where she worked alongside Devlin, Ms Dynamite, and many more. So you've got to check this one out. Basically, go to ayannamusic.com, listen to her EP, stay in touch with her on Twitter, AyannaWJ, on YouTube as well, and go to mobo.com and vote for her, because this girl is something special. Basically, you know where we're at. We are Fast Forward Podcast, and we are kwa.me/blog, Kwame Music Blog. So let's roll. Check it out.
Code means rewind, a gunshot means forward, 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 forward.
So, okay, Ayanna, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you.
So what's happening now? Because there seems to be a bit of excitement going on around you at the moment. You know, the last time I saw you, you were a student still.
I know. It's like the best part of the music. So basically, it's really exciting. I've been nominated for a Best Jazz Act Mobo Award, which. Yeah, cool.
That's a big one.
I'm grateful. Yeah.
But so how's that come about? I mean, what have you been doing for the last? I think, well, since the last week. Well, I think it must have been a good 3 years ago or something.
Yeah. So since I last saw you, I took a year out after I graduated, and then I spent 2 years in New York doing. Oh no. My alarm to remind me about this interview. I've switched everything off. No.
Speaking of that, let me make sure that I put myself on unavailable, because the last thing I want is to get a Skype call midway through this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's start. We should start again.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll start again. Let's see.
Okay. Do not disturb.
Yes, exactly.
Any alarms?
Okay, right.
Okay.
Right, I'm not going to try and repeat exactly what I did just then, because
okay,
it never worked.
Yeah.
So, but what I'll do is, so I think the last time I saw you, probably about, could have been 3 or 4 years ago, and you know, you said you just finished studying
at Trinity
College of Music, yeah.
And then I took a year out following that.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Well, the big thing was I moved to America, and I did a master's in composition. I studied there for 2 years at the Manhattan School of Music.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and in this past year, I've been working on my solo set, really, as a singer cellist. I brought out an EP last year, which was produced.
Is it Truthfully?
Yes, that's Truthfully.
Yes, I had to listen to that.
You did?
I was quite impressed, actually. You know what? The weird thing is that I didn't think I was really going to go for it, because I'm not really into jazz. You know, my sisters are, my brother-in-law is, but me, I'm still a bit of an urban music boy. You know.
No, I hear you, but it kind of floats in between a few things, because it's songs, really.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I found. I put it on, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, this girl's doing things differently. You know? Because all of a sudden I felt like I was listening to something that was straddling a number of genres, basically, which I found it blew my mind, essentially, because you have like you've got a bit of classical element there,
that's
then you've got a bit of the jazz element there, but there's somewhere in there there's like this sort of a bit of a hip hop going on underneath. You've got a bit of R&B. It's like I was just like, whoa, okay. I didn't think you could. I didn't think it was possible, you know, to kind of get a nice blend like that, but still sound unique.
I know what you're saying, and partly because that's the way I've been brought up, and those are the influences I've had.
Yeah.
But also working with Mark, who produced it, Mark from For Hero, that's also where he's coming from.
You work with Mark from For Hero in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm geeking out now, basically. I love For Hero, man. For Hero is like, well, I when I go back to my past of, you know, albums that, you know, define me, that was one of them, you know. So,
right.
I'm seriously geeking out here, man.
Exactly.
That's wicked.
He kind of allowed me to do what I want to do and just capture that in the best way, as opposed to making it this or making it that. So it's an honest EP, and I feel like those songs, they've lived with me for a while. So what you get there is just like me, raw, no frills. No,
it's good. It's good. So how did that hookup come about? Did you just meet up, or was it like? No,
I met. He found me through MySpace a long time ago.
Wow, and MySpace.
Yeah, back in the day
when people used MySpace. Yeah.
But basically, he asked me to do a cover of one of his songs for their album Extensions. Extensions. And that's what I did. I covered Give In from Play with the Changes.
Yeah.
Give In to Sin's my song, sorry. And that's how we met, and then we stayed in touch while I was in America, and then when I got back, he said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to work with you on your EP," and so that's the journey.
Oh, that's brilliant, man! I'm still geeking out. I'm telling you, For Hero, man, that's awesome. That's you know, because the funny things that I've just discovered like little things, bits of what you've been doing as I kind of checking out what's happening in the music world, and slowly, like, there are elements of what you're doing which I look at, I'm just like, wow, I'm really impressed about how you're going about things, because you've got Mark from For Hero on one side, and then I know at the other side you've been doing some work with Courtney as well, Courtney Pine.
Yeah, well, that was before I went to America. I was on tour with Courtney for a month with his Afro-Peans, Afro-Jazz Warriors. So many names.
Is that his super group?
It's a super group and an amazing ensemble. And I saw Courtney the other day. So he's really encouraging, and he's been tweeting about the Mobos and just being a real champion. So but it's funny because like you say, on the one hand there's been Mark from For Hero, and on the other hand I've been doing some arrangement work for the BBC Symphony Orchestra and Ms Dynamite, Devlin.
Oh no, wait, is it that? Hold on. Is it the one they did at the Barbican?
Yeah, the classic concert.
Oh, you were part of that?
Yeah, Jason and I were doing the orchestration, so we kind of split the orchestrations between us.
Because I saw a trailer for that, and Fazer was supposed to be kind of part of doing the music and everything, and there was Fazer taking the credit for your hard work.
Well, actually, Jason did Fazer's tracks, and Jason did Fazer and Ms Dynamite. I did Skepta and Devlin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's really interesting, because I like the way you're mixing it up. I really do. Because because what I find it a bit strange when you've got a young artist who's doing who's working in a genre like maybe jazz or classical or whatever, and they're not drawing the influences from youth culture.
Okay.
And the fact that you're just mixing it all up.
It's a very interesting point, and actually, exactly on that point, the album that's coming out next year that I've recorded and is being produced right now definitely has an electroacoustic side now. And all of that, so there's a hip hop element in there. There's a more of an R&B element, and those very relevant genres that I grew up on are coming into the mix more now, which is really, really fun for me as a vocalist, and also just because I'm wanting to reach out to a slightly different audience and keep the ones that have been with me.
So are you going more vocal on that one, or are you still throwing the cello in there?
Oh yeah, it's all about the voice and the cello.
Okay, wicked.
Yeah, with some more kind of contemporary elements, I would say.
Don't lose that cello because it's one of my favorite string instruments, basically.
Yeah, big time. And there's more. I mean, well, my cello's called Ruben. I personalised him now. So
Awesome.
we've got to talk about
every decent music instrument has to have a name.
Yeah, that's right. So Ruben and I are definitely all over this album.
Awesome.
And like there's a lot of like classical, really nice mixing sort of beats with classical arrangements and layering cellos up, and it's going to be really fun.
That's brilliant. Because in fact, it's I can see the synergy between you and Ruben on the cover of Truthfully. I really like that. I saw that and I was like, that is wicked. I like that. Because as a designer, graphics and web designer, like I looked at that sleeve and I was like, oh man, I wish I had.
Well, I'd love to take credit for it, but it is my homage to like an old photograph, a Man Ray photograph from the early 20th century. So it was me thinking, okay, I want to recreate that picture and give it a kind of modern sort of twist.
Yeah, don't worry. You know what? All inspiration comes from somewhere else. As a designer, the amount of things that have led to me designing things, you'd be surprised.
And that's it.
Sometimes you'll see something even in nature, which will then lead to you.
That's true.
Doing something else. I mean, in fact, musically, do you find anything like that happens where something from
definitely. But less in that sense that I'm gonna directly take it in like and pay homage that way. But saying that, I do sing Grandma's Hands, Bill Withers a lot on my sets, and Roxanne, obviously.
Yeah, I heard Roxanne. I was like, that's an awesome song. Anyway, but then you put your own spin on it. I was like, oh, nice.
Thank you. So yeah, I do pay respects that way.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I think was it because I was reading about it. Truthfully, they're based on stories of what's her name, Surgeon Truth.
So Ain't I a Woman, which is on Truthfully, was a speech given by Sojourner Truth, and I turned it into a lyric and did some editing of her words, and then added music and turned it and made it a song. And she was, for people who don't know Sojourner Truth, she was a slave in the 18th century, born in 1797. numbers. And she was born Isabella Bounfrey and changed her name to Sojourner Truth because when she got her freedom, she travelled around and she fought for people's rights. And
I see. That's so you've taken on a strong woman as your as an influence to direct this EP. So
I love women's stories, women's issues, you name it. I think that's the phase I'm in. I happen to be.
No. It's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I like music where the content is informative.
Yeah.
And just makes you think because I'm going to resist going into a rant because I grew up with hip hop in the early 90s where things were really sort of it was almost like activist music.
That's true. And
then now it's at a point where I'm just thinking, where's the content, if you know what I mean? Yeah. So every now and again I kind of have a little rant about it. But
do you know what? But you get it. Like I was up in Nottingham and I went to like a hip hop freestyle session, you call it, and it was grassroots, and they were talking about very real things and life and issues. But it wasn't mainstream. I mean, these guys are like homegrown and doing it on a small scale, as it were. But it's there, but it's not as overground as it needs.
Yeah, it's almost like it's still there. You still got. I mean, you've got people like Akala who are who's still rapping like was it Logic and there's quite a few of them. People's Army, I think, and they're definitely and in fact even Plan B. I mean Ben Drew.
True.
Yeah. He surprised me when he did his Ill Manners movie plus soundtrack. I was literally blown away.
And that's great because that got a lot of coverage and so it should, you know, because these are real stories and they need to be told.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so I mean, as far as for the upcoming album, you know,
Yes.
what sort of influences are going into there right about now?
Well, a little bit of Missy and Timberland from back in the day.
Oh, nice, nice.
A little bit of Missy, a little bit of Destiny's Child.
Hit me with the hee.
It's kind of like
I can't stand the rain. Oh, yeah. You know it. This is what I like. Somebody who knows what they're talking about.
So basically, it's kind of bringing blues and soul to something that's a bit more groove based, and also there's still that raw element that the EP has, that just cello and voice, nothing else. Like Just As You Would See Me Live, and I've got a cowbell that I play when I sing and play too.
You've got to have more cowbell.
Yeah, gotta have that Kwame going, take it back to the roots. So there's that, and some of the songs on the EP have made it over to the album.
Yeah.
Some brand new songs, but essentially the theme of the album is coming as you are, being honest in all the things that you do, be that a great thing or a bad thing, but just keeping it real with yourself and with other people. So
that's really the best way to look at it, really.
Yeah.
Because I think what I've always found is that whenever artists release albums, especially as the well-known artists now, their first albums is where they're kind of like just themselves.
Yeah.
You can just hear the hunger in the music, and everything is usually amazing. Then they make shitloads of money, and then the second, third album, you're just like, yeah, what's happening there? You know.
Couple of good tunes.
Yeah, a couple of good tunes. But you know, but the ones who kind of, you know, who manage to kind of craft it so they're just presenting themselves as they are, then you know, regularly the outcome is good.
Yeah. That's it. And you're always one step ahead of yourself in a way. Like for me, putting out this album, a lot of people have not heard any of my music before, so it's new for them, but it's been with me for a long time. So I'm already on the concept for the next album. You know, I already know what I want that to be. So I've just got to kind of enjoy sitting where I am and sharing what's still here with people, as opposed to moving to be,
It must be kind of strange though, because when you record an album, basically you record it and then there's a chunk of time where you've actually gotten all that content out of your mind.
Yeah.
And you've got new content in your mind, which you might want to commit, but you're now still working backwards, and you've got to sort of, you know, you've got to still nurture what's been done.
Yeah.
Because you know, I spent a little bit of time as an artist. I was in a hip hop group, and I always found once the track was recorded and done, I was almost like, right, okay, well, forget about that. I want to do this one now.
I know. It's like,
but you know, you've got to go out and do gigs, and you've got to perform it. You've got to listen to it again, and you've got to do, you know, promos for it.
Promotion. In some ways, my journey's been pretty organic. I feel like there's nothing forced about what's happened. So I still feel free to drop a new song if I'd like on a gig. It's nothing sort of too strict about it. So if I do want to do that, I can. You know? Yeah.
But you wait till you get that one big hit where everybody wants to hear it over and over again for the next 15 years.
That would be a dream come true. I'd love that. I would love that. Yeah. I feel like of all my songs though, Ain't I Woman's a bit of a signature track, and I feel like I'm always going to sing that.
Yeah, that is definitely a tune.
Yeah.
My personal favourite, well, the two favourites actually, Given to Sin. You know what it is? When it starts off with those percussions, I'm just like, it just has this groove about it, and it's just okay, right, here we go, and then you've got that bass, just kind of teases you along, and you know, No, I like that.
That's cool. Thank you.
And then my other favorite is Let Me Go as well.
And it's so cool. I don't get to do that one often because I really feel like it needs the piano, it needs all that harmony. It doesn't quite work as a cello vocal song, so I really don't get to do it much, but I am going to be doing it with the wonderful Robert Mitchell, who recorded it with me on, what is it, October the 10th in Wiltshire. We've got a gig in Wiltshire. So I'll be doing it there.
Oh, have you got lots of gigs on at the moment?
Yeah, tons of gigs. If you go to ayannamusic.com, they're all listed there under live, and literally like 15 gigs coming up. I don't know, there's a lot. And there's some that aren't even listed, like the Screen Nation Awards. I'm performing there and it's not even listed.
It's funny, you've kept really busy. I mean, you know, so aside from, you've got the gigging, you've got the recording, you've got working with the BBC.
I know, I've been collaborating with Gwyn Herbert and Robert Mitchell. Nice. I was touring, supporting Roberta Fonseca, who's an amazing jazz pianist from Cuba. Wow. I supported Hugh Masekela. So there's been a lot of activity, supports, touring, and I've been in Holland for a while, touring with some amazing musicians out there.
What was that like, actually?
Yeah, really great. I made friends with a wonderful trumpeter called Diederik Rijpstra in New York, and he invited me over to come and collaborate with him and another amazing trio called the Tin Man and the Telephone. Yeah. And it was just like one big music fest. Great. They remixed some of my songs, I remixed some of their stuff, and we just kind of took it on the road. We went to North Sea Jazz Festival. It was really fun, and it's been busy and good.
with all that busyness, are you getting any sort of downtime? You know, any sort of, because I know you guys from Trinity. Actually, I know you like a good party, basically. So
I was the hermit. I turned into this hermit when I went to Trinity. I didn't do anything other than music. But I've got to work that out still. The work play balance, needs work. I am enjoying time with my friends and family, and I've definitely been making more time to exercise and to dance and to just chill out.
So what sort of when it comes to dance, are you more of a freestyle, or do you have specific moves? You maybe a bit of Azonto, maybe.
I'm one of those, like, if I'm on the dance floor, I'll just do what I feel. Yeah. In a freestyle sense. But taking classes, I'm trying to learn some new vocabulary. So I started a contemporary dance class, which is like introduction to contemporary dance, like a very beginner level. And I'm going to keep moving through that and learning how to, like,
because contemporary is hard. You've got to be able to throw your body about and
control yourself.
I know.
No, it's really varied. I think there are a lot of different styles within contemporary, and I'm getting a taster for slightly different schools of training at the moment. So we'll see where that goes.
All right. Well, I look forward to a video, you know, where you are not only singing and playing the cello and doing the composition, but also dancing.
Indeed.
Vogue.
So yeah, I will be dancing. That was the secret. That was what I didn't want to. I let out the bag yet. You guessed it correctly. Funny.
That's it. You know, I'm one of those guys who likes to project forward. So basically, you give me any little nugget, and all of a sudden my mind will visualize it like 10 years ahead.
And that's awesome. You know, you got to be like one step ahead. You know, you got to be on the pulse. So.
Oh, most definitely. In fact, that's part of the reason I set up my music blog in the first place. It was really weird. It was because I started off kind of going, because I'd find lots of new music, and usually if one of my friends was online, I'd send them a link, or, you know, and then we'd get on the phone and we'd talk about it and be, oh, what do you think of this? You know, oh God, this is amazing. Look what they did there. And then I found that I was getting loads of links, and I had to kind of have documents where I was storing this stuff, and it just became unwieldy. I thought, right, I'll just set up a blog, I'll put it there, and all I do is just point them to it. Oh, have you checked it recently? And before I knew it, like, I've been, loads of people are contacting me going, oh, could you post up this, post up that?
Amazing.
I know.
That's really cool.
No, it's been really, so now I thought, well, what better than to contact people that I know who are like
Yeah.
who are warming up, setting themselves up for the big time,
Hey.
and you know, show them to the people. You know.
Oh, well, thank you. And you know, if you and everyone else who's out there has time to log on to the Mobo website and vote for me under Best Jazz, I would be really grateful.
I have voted already, and anybody else watching and listening, vote now. You know, because this is, if in fact, first of all, go to is AyannaMusic.com?
Yes.
Yep. AyannaMusic.com, and you can listen there, can't you?
Yeah.
You can listen to the EP Truthfully, and I'm telling you, it'll blow your socks off. Have a listen to that, and then go to Mobo and vote, because you know this is something very, very special happening here. You know, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about?
Well.
Any dates you might be going, you know? Anything you want the public to know that you know?
Well, apart from the tons of exciting gigs coming up, which all those details are on the website, I would just like the public to know that
what's the website again, just before
AyannaMusic.com. That's AYANNA music.com.
Okay, brilliant.
I think just a general thanks. I'm really grateful. There's a lot of people who have been willing to help me and who are also inspiring me all the time, and it's really nice to feel supported, especially in this sort of sea.
I know. Well, with all the music that's going on at the moment, it's weird because the scene has changed. There's a bit of it's almost like a music free for all, and it's from one aspect. I think, you know, people were kind of a bit nervous about what was going to happen once the gates were opened and everybody could put their music out, but from another aspect, I think it's actually an amazing thing, because you're getting really interesting things like what you're doing, which is which is the blend. I'm really excited about that. You know.
Thank you. So just stay in touch. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Excellent. If you do /Ayanna WJ on all of those, you'll find me. And
Twitter's the way at the moment. I'm fine. In fact, I'm finding a lot of my contacts are coming in through from Twitter. But I'll catch up with you through Twitter as well. You know, I'm following what you're doing at the moment. So
thank you. Thank you.
But Ayanna, it's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. It's been good, and hopefully, we'll try and get you on again, because I think, you know, it'll be good to follow things as they progress. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? I'd love to come back. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is more fun than I thought it was going to be. Cause
I know.
I'll give you a quick secret actually before I go, because the whole thing for me started off because there's this podcast I listen to. It's a guy called Joe Rogan. He's an American comedian, and when I listened to it, it was the most mind-blowing thing I ever came across, because it was him and he just got his friends in, who are all other comedians and actors, and they would just sit and chat for, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, about just everything and anything going on. And I've listened to so many of them. By the end of it, you feel like you really know them. You feel like that, because it's better than this format. It's better than when you go onto a radio show or onto TV, where you get like 30 seconds to, you say a couple of words, and you know, then you have to quickly do your plugs, and then off you go. Because this way you can actually talk to somebody, you can have you get more relaxed and into it, and you know,
keep it real. Keep it real.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, you know. That's right. Yep. Yeah. How do you do? Oh, I can't do real. I feel like I should be able to do this, but you know, there's got to be a way of doing the R. Oh no. See, that's the problem. You would never believe that I used to be a rapper.
I believe it. I think you would.
I can't even throw the shapes. I can't throw the shapes. You know, I can't throw them. You know,
this is where you have to just make up your own.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know,
real.
Ah, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. You know. Real, yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that works.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, awesome!
Awesome, Ayanna.
Thanks,
Okay.
darling.
Thank you very much for doing this with us.
Yeah.
And I'll hit you up on Twitter.
Yes.
And let you know how everything goes.
Absolutely. Take care. Until next time.
Okay. Awesome.
All right then. Bye.
Bye.
Record means rewind, a gunshot means forward, 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 forward.
Yeah.
Well, I think it must have been a good 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, so since I last saw you, I took a year out after I graduated, and then I spent 2 years in New York doing... oh no! It's my alarm to remind me about this interview. I've switched everything off.
Oh, speaking of that, let me make sure that I put myself on unavailable, because the last thing I want is to get a Skype call midway through this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's start. We should start again.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll start again. Let's see.
Okay. Do not disturb.
Yes, exactly.
Any alarms?
Okay. Right.
Right.
Okay. Right. I'm not going to try and repeat exactly what I did just then, because it never worked. So, but what I'll do is, So I think the last time I saw you, probably about Okay, people. Welcome to interview shots number 2. This one we've got Ayanna Witter-Johnson, freshly nominated for a Mobo, Best Jazz Act 2012. This one's going to be good. We talk about her moving to New York, working with Mark from For Hero on her EP, Truthfully. We talk about her working with the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra with the Urban Classics, where she worked alongside Devlin, Ms Dynamite, and many more. So you've got to check this one out. Basically, go to ayannamusic.com, listen to her EP, stay in touch with her on Twitter, AyannaWJ, on YouTube as well, and go to mobo.com and vote for her, because this girl is something special. Basically, you know where we're at. Could have been 3 or 4 years ago, and you know, you said you just finished studying
at Trinity.
At Trinity College of Music, yeah.
And then I took a year out following that.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Well, the big thing was I moved to America, and I did a master's in composition. I studied there for 2 years at the Manhattan School of Music.
Yeah.
And then I came back. And in this past year, I've been working on my solo set, really, as a singer-cellist. I brought out an EP last year, which was produced...
Is it Truthfully?
Yes, that's Truthfully.
Yes, I had to listen to that.
You did?
I was quite impressed, actually. You know what? The weird thing is that I didn't think I was really going to go for it, because I'm not really into jazz. You know, my sisters are, my brother-in-law is, but me, we are Fast Forward Podcast, and we are kwa.me/blog, Kwame Music Blog. So let's roll. Check it out.
Record means rewind, a gunshot means forward, 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 forward.
So, okay, Ayanna, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you.
So what's happening now? Because there seems to be a bit of excitement going on around you at the moment. You know, the last time I saw you were a student still.
I know. It's like the best part of the music. So basically, it's really exciting. I've been nominated for a Best Jazz Act Mobo Award, which yeah, cool. And
that's a big one.
I'm grateful. Yeah.
But so how's that come about? I mean, what have you been doing for the last, I think, well, I'm still a bit of an urban music boy, you know.
No, I
But
hear you, but it kind of floats in between a few things because it's songs really.
that's the thing. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I found. I put it
yeah.
on and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" You know, this girl's doing things differently. You know, because all of a sudden I felt like I was listening to something that was straddling a number of genres
Yeah,
basically, which I found it blew my mind essentially because you have like you've got a bit of classical element there,
yeah, that's
then you've
right.
got a bit of the jazz element there, but
Yeah,
there's somewhere in there there's like this sort of there's sort of a bit of a hip hop going on underneath.
yeah,
You've got a
that's
bit of you've got a bit of R&B. It's all
yeah,
like I
yeah,
was just like, whoa, okay.
yeah,
I didn't think you could. I didn't think it was it was possible to kind of get a nice blend like that,
yeah.
but still sound
Well,
unique.
I know what you're saying, and partly because that's the way I've been brought up, and those are the influences I've had.
Yeah.